at one time. I was working at a paddock course or something. I was like, where are you going? This is years ago. No, I'm going camping. Nah, black people don't camp.
Oh,
And she's kind of right in a way because we don't really, you know what I mean? We kind of avoid it and make excuses and that. I'm gonna get out here, you get me?
But do you know what?
Go on.
What did it say? Jacob.
yeah, I got that. Yeah, I was going into that.
25.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
He's a plain man.
Plain man,
So
all in
that's-
the tents,
That's
yeah.
what we do, man.
That's what we do, man.
I'm happy with the simple things. Don't need this whole big hotel, And the thing is, back in the world, I did go camping a couple of times, but
Yeah.
I went Reading Festival. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not the same. It's not the same doing all the madness.
No Bible there.
Yeah,
At all,
man,
at all.
Just pure Edomites off their face.
just
you know?
madness, right?
Yeah.
All right, all praises to the Most High, man. Can you read Bible chat?
Well, yeah.
Can't. All praises, right?
Man.
But yeah, man, like Peter said, well, all praise to the Most High, everyone being here, man.
Yeah,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
No
You
problem.
know,
Oh, pretty good.
hey, and I always like to go to First Maccabees. First Maccabees, I think it's 3, right? First Maccabees 3. I think you know what I want, Tazbro. Right, First Maccabees 3. What is it? 2. Let's go to First Maccabees. Go to First Maccabees 3, and let's go to verse 16.
This is First Maccabees chapter 3 verse 16. And when he came near to the going up of the forum, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company.
Right, so this is going into the time of the Maccabees. You know, when they're going to war, they had a small company, man. There weren't no, okay, we had 144,000, you know, men lined up. It's a small company. You don't know the amount, right? Which we done?
Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude, and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day?
Right, car. You know, and you can't let, you know, the numbers game wither your faith, right? Because people like to, oh, we got 500,000 brothers in the camp. That doesn't mean nothing. Numbers, it's never about the numbers game. You know what I'm saying? It's never about that. And this is a prime example of that, you know, right? You've seen the videos, you've seen there's 5,000 people. It doesn't matter about that, man. Right? Really, it's about the sincerity. You know what I'm saying? Right? We'll praise to the Most High. But we're in the elements. You have to let, you know what I'm saying? We're in the elements, man. Right? Right? Read on, King.
Verse 18, unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few, and with the God of heaven it is all one, to deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
Right, see that? So it's down to the Most High to decide who's actually, you know how the victory goes in that battle. It's not down to, because even Alexander, the freak man, as off as he was, when you look at the final battle that he had with the Persian Medes, they were actually outnumbered. You know, the Persians, they had a huge army in comparison to Alexander. But you know, obviously the Edomite. But point being is that the Most High put it in the tide of Alexander to defeat the Persians. And really, you know, as off as he was, he was a mighty man of war. That's Esau's nature. But that shows you that the numbers game doesn't actually mean anything. You know, again, it's about the sincerity that brothers have amongst themselves, the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? And with that brotherhood comes no respect to persons. You know, that's one thing to always understand. It's not, okay, this brother, he's nice to me. That's why I'm turning up to camp. It's not, you're not at camp or with, you know, whatever, because of the brother. It's because of the sincerity that, you know, really you have with the Most High, innit? Right? So, I will say to the Most High. Right? Did you read verse 19 as well?
No. Verse 19 says, for the victory of battle standeth in not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven.
See that? So the strength comes from the Most High, right? It comes from Yahweh Shemi Shai. It doesn't come from, oh, because you went gym, right? Oh yeah, nah, that's what made me, lose that, right? It's really all down to the Most High, man. Right? Let's get Daniel 2 and let's get verse number, right? Daniel 2 shows you that, right? Daniel 2 and let's go to verse number 21.
This is Daniel 2 verse 21. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding.
Right. So the Most High has the capacity 100% to, put it in the, like Putin, Keir Starmer, all these people to set off this and go to blow this place up. That's, the Most High has that control. When you read Proverbs 21, and I believe one, it says that, the king's spirit is in the hand of the Lord, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So that the Most High controls these people. That's why when you see these, Putin, we're gonna do this, right? Putin threatens to do that. That's the spirit that the Most High is putting in to do that. He's not doing that because he wants to. So when you look at it, everything is of the Most High. Like it says in Proverbs 24, I think. Man's goings are of the Lord. He doesn't know why we don't know why we're here, but obviously through the Spirit, we read the scriptures by our faith. That's why we've come together. You know what I'm saying, right? If you want to be here, you haven't yet got to that stage. Really, you should. You know what I'm saying, right? Like it says in Hebrews 10, and I think Hebrews 10 talks about provoke others unto to good works, man. So Lord willing, people see what we do, and they're provoked to do that, man, right? But let's go into topic I was going to cover. Just kind of put up a few precepts kind of going into the tabernacle, and the importance of it, because you can even read verse 22 actually in Daniel 2, and you can read verse 22 as well.
This is Daniel 2 verse 22. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. Right.
So obviously when we look at, even when it comes to the tabernacle, right, really this is, the secrets that are amongst it. We don't know why, there's certain instruments that are used, the office of the sons of Aaron, the purpose of how different families were set up around the tabernacle. It's very specific, but like that's again, man being governed by the spirit that the Most High puts in them. It's not of himself, right? So let's go to we'll go to Exodus chapter 25, and we'll start verse 8, right? But this is kind of the definition of the tabernacle is a portable sanctuary that served as a place of worship for the Israelites from the time of the wilderness until the building of the Temple of Solomon. So and that even you have some brothers that will say, you have to keep feast day in the land. No, not even some people. The Israelites were in the wilderness. They weren't in. They didn't even go into the land yet, but they're keeping the feast days outside. You know what I'm saying? So don't let anyone say, "Oh, well, you didn't go to Jerusalem last year, right?" Deuteronomy 16 and 16, right? But they didn't. You know what I'm saying? Right? They didn't even have the land yet at that point. It was promised to them, but they didn't have the land yet, right? So let's read Exodus 25, and just emphasis that the tabernacle is a representation, right, of the Most High, right? It's a representation of the Most High dwelling amongst the Israelites, right? Let's read that, Baba Kashan.
Exodus 25 and verse 8. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell amongst them, according to all that I showed thee after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it.
Right. So, and remember, Moses, when he went up into the mount, he didn't just get up, he just got the 10 commandments. Right? That's what Christians think. Christians think, he just went up there, and the Most High came down himself, and he wrote on a big book, and he said, "Here you go, Moses. This is for you. Tell my people." And he floated that back into the sky. That's what they think, right? But again, there were many things that were showed to Moses, in the mount. right? The end, the beginning, you know what I'm saying, right? Wasn't just our 10 commandments, right? But
The period he was up there for.
right, yeah, he was up there for a long time, right? Because remember when he came back down,
Yeah, it was.
the Israelites were freaking off, right? They said, "Where's Moses, man?
Yeah.
Why is he taking so long?" Right? So they kind of got impatient, but he was up there getting the secrets, understanding how to pattern the tabernacle, right? Who's gonna be what? Who's gonna be doing this, right? So there's secrets that are revealed, you know, when it comes down to the tabernacle. It's just not just some damn portable tank, man, or something, right? So what do we read? Verse, that was Exodus 28, right? And we read verse 8 and 9, innit? So like what I call Exodus 28 and
25, 25, 8 and 9.
so like let me get there as well. Right, and even when you read on, you can read on once as well.
Verse 10. Exodus 25, verse 10. And they shall make an ark of shittim wood, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof.
And even when you go further on, you know, from like Exodus, really from like here onwards, it goes into the making of the tabernacle, the you know, all the instruments that were used within the priestly office, right? Let's get as well Psalms 15, Baba Kasha. This is just a characteristic of those, you know, if you want to dwell near the tabernacle, man, near unto the Most High, there's a characteristic that we have to fit, man. You can't just even at work, you know what I'm saying? You kind of got to earn your position, man. You got certain roles, you got to kind of certain things, you got steps you got to put in. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go speak to the judge, right? You can't do that. You can never do that, you know. Right, but let's read that, Baba Kasha.
Psalm 15 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Yahweh, who shall abide in thy tabernacle?
Mm-hmm.
Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart.
Right, and that's the quick point. It says work of righteousness, man. So works, right, is action. You want to say, oh, well, even faith is an action. To have faith, hey, ask a Christian, do they know Feast of Tabernacles? Right? Ask these theologians, do you know about tabernacles? Oh, yeah, the people they were dwelling in. Are you doing it? They're not doing it. So again, your faith is measured by your actions. You know what I'm saying? Like it says, this is he that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness. Right? Let's get quickly Matthew 3 and verse 8 to show you that when you are, you know, your works is shown by what you do. You can't just say I repent and you do nothing. I repented and then that's, you know, I'm just gonna wait till your Havashai comes, right? You say HOI to the chariots fly now. That's right. Now you're just saying HOI to the chariots fly. You ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna put in work. You ain't trying to just HOI to the chariots fly now. Right? See that? Right? And elements in that, right? But can't.
Things fly, man.
See that? See that? See that? Right? God, you can read Matthew 3 and 8.
Matthew 3 verse 8. Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance.
So that fruits is your actions, man. Like a tree, like men are trees, right? Like it says in Job 14. It tells you that, you know, we can even get that Job 14 and I think maybe 13 start from. Like we're trees. As trees, we have a purpose. We have actions that we're required to produce, man. You produce kids, you know what I'm saying? Kids, you produce brothers build relationships with people. These are fruits. Fruits are okay. Some people have bad fruits. Yeah, he's known for just being. He's a drug dealer. That's a bad fruit to have. You know, this guy he's righteous. You know, he does this. He's, you know what I'm saying. That's a fruit, a good fruit that somebody has. All right, but let's read that thing.
14.
You can start from 12.
Job 14 and verse 12. So man lieth down and riseth not till the heavens be no more. They shall awake nor be raised out of their sleep.
Go on.
Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave, that thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath be past, that thou wouldest appoint me a set time and remember me. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait, till my change come.
Right. You could jump down to verse 7, so like, even when you read through it, really it's going back into our resurrection, right? What that's going into, right? Being the chamber of souls. When man dies, obviously his flesh dies, but his spirit is never dies. It's repurposed. And they say, oh, it's scientific. It's a science. That's 7.
Job 14 and verse 7. For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease.
So it's showing you that the cycle of trees, right? They will grow back, right? And I don't know if brother saw it, man. Esau, man, they had this place in the UK. I don't know if maybe you saw it. And they kind of cut down this tree. It was like in the middle of this some sort of hill. People got charged for cutting down the tree that's been there for a long time. Esau, they, when it comes to nature, if you
die in the ground, yet through the scent of water it will bud and bring forth boughs like a plant.
see that, so that's talking about man, right? Literally, when we're given the living waters, right? What happens to us, man? You become alive, man. You kind of start sprouting up again. Spiritually, you feel upright, man. That's what waters. Just how, because remember it says that Adam, he was in Ezekiel 30, yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, that's in Ezekiel 31. Yeah. It tells you how Adam, he had he was like they call him the Assyrian, right? But point being is that men as trees, we get that living water from Yahushua. Like you read in 4, it tells you about the woman at the well, and he said to her, look, if you asked of me, I would give you water that you wouldn't thirst again. So when we get that water as trees, which we are, and we kind of, you grow in the spirit, like Sapia's is WhatsApp status, right? Growing in the spirit, right? Right? We'll praise to the Most High, right? So let's go back to Psalms 15 and let's read, I think we read 3, or let me read 3 and then read down.
This is Psalms 15 and verse 3. He that backbiteth not with his tongue, doeth evil to his neighbor, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor, in whose eyes a vile person is condemned. But he honoureth them that fear the Lord. He that sweareth to his own hurt and changeth not. He that putteth not out his money to usury, nor taketh reward against the innocent. He that doeth these things shall never be moved. So
really, this is the characteristics for dwelling, near to the tabernacle of the Most High. Right? Let's get 1 Kings 5 and 3. Right? So these are characteristics for, being able to dwell near, the Most High, man. Right? And that's not literally, now you're sat next to Yahweh. Hey, Yahweh, I have some questions for you. Right, they're tapping him and that you're pushing him like, right, madness, fam. Right, and that's what Christians think. They think they're going to go to heaven, right? They're going to see. I saw God, right? I saw him. I sat next to him. I shook his hand. It's not very right. Let's read that, King.
5 and 1.
5 and 3.
Okay. 1 Kings 5 and verse 3. Thou knowest how that David my father could not build an house unto the name of the Lord his God, for the wars which were about him on every side, until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet.
Right, because the reason why David wasn't able to build up the temple of the Most High, because he got down, right? He got down. He slayed a lot of men. Right? He had I think when you read 1 Kings 6, and I think 1, it tells you about 1 Kings 6, it tells you about how he had the Edomites in concentration camps, man. Right? He had the Edomites in concentration camps. Right? You can read on, King.
Verse 2. And Solomon, no, Salakia, verse 4. But now the Lord my God hath given me rest on every side, so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurrent.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, I purpose to build an house unto the name of the Lord my God, as the Lord spake unto David my father, saying, Thy son, whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room, he shall build an house unto my name.
Right, and that's going into Yahushua as well, right? Because Yahushua really comes from the loins of David. It comes, right? We've been going through that, right? Yahushua, he just the spirit into Mary, and she had a baby, and the spirit's from the tribe of Judah, right? That's madness, right? Right. But again, when the spirit came onto her, really, that's going into that thing, Proverbs 24, man. Man's God, Lord. That Christ really, is the one that was build up the temple, right? Exodus 33 and verse 7 as well, Bob. Sure.
Exodus 33 and verse 7. And it reads, And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, a far off from the camp, and called the tabernacle of and called it the tabernacle of the congregation.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass that everyone which sought the Lord went out unto the tabernacle of the congregation, which was without the camp.
Read to verse 9, Bob. Sure.
And it came to pass when Moses went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle. And it came to pass as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the cloudy pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and the Lord talked with Moses.
Right, and really, let's go to Genesis 8 and 1. Right, the person that's at the door, right, of the tabernacle, right, is Yahushua. Right, even when you go to Numbers 10, it tells you about the trumpet being and the ourselves to the door of the tabernacle. That's going into Yahushua. You read John 10, where he says, no man go. You have to go through me. I'm the door, representing that being a mediator. Right, really, it's for. So when you read in and out through Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, right, you see that there's signs that are pointing to that new priesthood, really, right, of Yahushua. Right, let's read that.
Genesis 18 verse 1. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat at the tent door in the heat of the day.
See that, and that's going into when it says the Lord. This is not talking about Yahweh. This is Yahushua that appeared unto Abraham. Right. That's why when we read in the Gospels, he said, "Before Abraham, I was." Right. Abraham delighted to see my day. Right. And they were obviously the Pharisees and the different Israelite sects. They were kind of confused. What do you mean? Oh, how you're not even 50? How can you say what do you know about Abraham? You never seen him. Obviously, Yahushua was there. From the beginning. Right. So let's get Genesis 14 and verse 18 well, right, just to kind of emphasize on that point of Yahushua being, and that's that going into that patriarchal priesthood that's had through Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, right, Adam, right. These are foreshadowing for that. Right, and even in the kingdom, there's gonna be sacrifices, right? You read that in Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel 48 or 45, I believe, right? But let's read that, King.
So Genesis
14, and let's read verse 18, Bible show.
Genesis 14 and verse 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High.
Right, read on.
And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High, God, possessor of heaven and earth.
Right, and just like it said that he gave bread and wine, just like when you go into the Passover, right? Yahushua says, take this bread, this is my body, drink this wine, this is my blood. right? So it's just showing you these signs of Yahushua, right? Him being that priest, that's him really carrying out his priestly duties, man. Right? And read verse 20 as well, Baba Kashaw.
Verse 20, and blessed be the Most High God, which have delivered thine enemies into thine hand,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave him tithes of all.
See that? Right? So that's going into, the tithes, that 10% of, and it's not to do with money, right? We know in the ancient world, it's really going into crops, right? Because really, even Tabernacles is going into, they call it the feast of ingathering at the end of that particular period, because really now we're going into winter time. You would gather in all your crops, we gather this, right? And obviously, then like it says in, like, I think Leviticus 19 about not gleaning,
Corners.
right? Because the corners, like, let's say there was a land here, right? Brothers would have taken, this a certain portion, and really you would leave the corners of the land for the poor. The poor, those that weren't, rich, right? And that shows you the benefits of a theocracy, which is that's how you have democracy, what else is that, man? Socialism, all these different systems. Really, the Most High is called a theocracy, where it's governed by divine laws of the Most High. It's not man's. Okay, Keir Starmer says, yep, today we need to apologize to all Jewish people, right? That's what it will say. And they'll make that a law, right? But the Most High has divine laws, not made by man's basic understanding. Because they got this damn digital ID that they're trying to put out, and then the people are voting against it, and then they're gonna say, okay, I have to change it. Right? Most High God doesn't change, right? And it says, so the sons of Jacob are not consumed. But man, he will change. Okay, well, today we're gonna say that if you're born a man, really you're born a woman, and then everyone will say, yeah, that's right. Then people will vote against it, say, no. That's how man is. Man, he changes, but the Most High God, he doesn't change, right? So you got point?
No, what?
So let's go into Genesis 25, right? On that point of Jacob, Genesis 25, right? Just to quickly read on that patriarchal priesthood, right? It says the biblical patriarchal priesthood was a system where spiritual authority and priestly functions were passed down from the father to the son within the family unit. So just like you had even Ishmael, right? Ishmael, he probably knew how to do certain sacrifices, man. Right? Ishmael, right? Esau probably knew how to do it. Right? He probably didn't cook it properly, right? But Esau, Ishmael, the sons of Abraham, they would have known. That's why they circumcised. That's why you look at Ishmaelites today, they know, right, we got, whatever, right? Stuff for learning, right? They know, they know, like certain customs that are Abrahamic, right? So it says, and it's passed down. So even going from Adam, you had Cain and Abel, where how did they know how to give sacrifices? From Adam, right? This is not, Adam wrote it down. Yeah, look, this is what I left you. No, all traditions that were passed down, right? So it says, that were passed down from father to son within the family unit, primarily seen from Adam to Jacob. Patriarchs like Abraham and Noah acted as both family leaders and spiritual guides, offering sacrifices, building altars, and communing directly with Yahweh before the establishment of the Levitical priesthood under the Mosaic law. This familiar order represents a foundational form of spiritual leadership in the Old Testament. So really, when it comes to the men, really, we're a cover for our, for our families. Because that's what we would have been the one that was set up to, you might, like, for example, like your son, when you kill whatever, you do it like this. You know what I'm saying? You would have, everything was down, right? And you had to remember this, right? So let's see the identity of the tent dwelling, where, right? Let's read Genesis 25 to 27.
This is 25, 27. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Right, and I always emphasize this. When it says he was a plain man, plain means complete. It doesn't mean, he had no swag. Hey, Jacob had swag, man. right? Jacob had swag, right? How do you think? And he had money, right? And he was up. He wasn't broke, right? Oh, if you're not in this camp, yeah, you're a bum, right? That's what people think. People, you know, I say it openly, you know. I don't know, you might not say it, but I say it openly. Certain people, they'll say, oh, if you were certain camp, yeah, you're broke. You don't look after your wife. That's what people say, right? I don't know if brother saw it yesterday. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I watched all of it. Still.
You seen a bit of it
I
though.
watched little bits.
Madness,
Mm.
madness. I don't know if brother saw that. That made me laugh, man.
Mm.
You know exactly what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right? You see it?
What?
Certain people, they're saying in the kingdom, right? In the kingdom you can have multiple wives, but here you can't have multiple. It's if you have multiple wives here, it's
Sin.
it's a sin.
Yeah,
Adultery.
I didn't see that.
We don't pay enough.
Imagine who it's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see
Yeah,
it. No.
madness. Yeah. The call that they said, because obviously there's a sister on there, I think, and she was saying certain camps names and that, innit? Yeah, so yeah, man, like it says in the Bible, man, the things that are done, you know, here they're gonna be done in the kingdom, man, right? But let's read. So in the wilderness, the tabernacles was kept, right, showing that we have to go back to Jerusalem to keep, man, right? Keep. Some might not be. They be at home. They set up,
in the bedroom. And that,
put up. You know what I'm saying? Put a little stuff up, man.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
You gotta do it.
You gotta do it.
Something,
Right?
Let's start somewhere.
Right?
Yeah.
And a quick point as well. I'm not sure where, but when they set up booths, they set it on top of their house.
See
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I'm gonna bring it out to them.
Yeah, on top of their houses, you know?
It's in Nehemiah.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
They put, yeah, man. All praises, man. It's probably gonna show me that precept.
Yeah,
that?
Nehemiah, he's right. Nehemiah, I think it's 8.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring it out later.
Yeah.
Same thing.
What's tomorrow? Is tomorrow? Is it not left tomorrow?
No,
Okay, come.
not until Friday.
Let's go to Numbers 29 and verse 12 as well. Right? So, because even when you read number 29, it goes into trumpets, Day of Atonement, and then Tabernacles. Right? When you read it going down, and it tells you the certain sacrifices that would have been done for each
Day.
high holy day.
Yeah.
Right? Let's read that. Numbers 29 and verse 12.
This is Numbers 29 and verse 12. And on the 15th day of the 7th month, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work, and ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days.
Right, that's Tabernacles.
And ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord, 13 young bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year.
Yep.
They shall be without blemish.
Right, Khan. So there was certain sacrifices, man, that were done in that time period. Right? Did you read 15 as well?
14.
Oh.
And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deals unto every bullock of the 13 bullocks.
2/10.
2/10 deals to each ram of the 2 rams, and a several 10th deal to each lamb of the 14 lambs.
Right. So, and even when you read down, they were going nuts with it, man. Right. And remember, that's the Levites probably past this, they cut this, probably working like what's it name, man? Moab, man, in the factories, man. Right, doing this, and they probably had to burn it. Right, there's a lot. Yeah, man. Right, because remember that's how it was, man. Remember, because player. I want to be a basketball player. I want to, you know what I'm saying, be a rapper. They would go straight, and you got to Tabernacle, right? Right. Yeah, that's the job. even read Leviticus 10, that quick. After the tabernacle, it says like, they would die, right? So that was their that's the ties. That was for covering their
tabernacle of the congregation, lest you die, for the anointing oil of the Lord is upon you, and they did according to the word of Moses.
So they didn't complain. Oh, but I don't want to. Yeah, they just kept it pushing, right? And that shows you the mindset of how they were really built, man. Right? You children's day, man. I just want to watch iPad. Right? They just want to watch iPad. They just sit there and they know how now they making a phone call.
Yeah.
Now they're doing this, right?
Know who's calling.
Yeah. No, I know, but that shows you, man. Right? Even in the time then, right? Israelites, they were up there, man, in terms of knowledge, man. They weren't basic, That is a baby. She's kind of holding the phone. She's taking a picture. She's taking a selfie. She's turning it around. It's madness, man. Right? But they couldn't leave the tabernacle because that was their office. That's why I'm going shot. Salakia, one of Aaron's Salakia, I'm going to no. You better come and finish the sacrifice, right? That's what it would have been like, man, right? And there are different types of sacrifices, right? I just kind of name a few, right? So you got a sin offering, guilt offering, burnt offering, peace offering, heave and wave offering. So there's many types of offerings that there are, right? And just to kind of emphasize, right, what the sacrifices, because different sacrifices or offerings, they represent different things, right? So in terms of what we read in Numbers 29 about, I believe it's a burnt offering that we read about that would be put forth, right? It says the sacrifice represented the complete dedication and surrender to Yahweh. The animal, usually an unblemished male, bears the worshipper's sins and dies in his place. After the blood was sprinkled on the altar, the animal was completely burnt. None of it was roasted for eating. Because obviously there's some sacrifices that were, eaten by the sons of Aaron, right? In 1 Samuel, it tells you about the sons of Eli. They were off, right? They of the sacrifice and say, yeah, hold on, no, we can't sacrifice this. I gotta eat this. That's what they were doing. So let's get Leviticus 1 and verse 2, right? Just kind of go into those burnt offerings. We read about them, right? So when you read through Leviticus, it will tell you about the different offerings that are like we've gone through, wave offering, heave offering, guilt offering, right? The different offerings. Let's read that, Bible show.
This is Leviticus 1 and verse 2.
Yeah.
Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, if any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, you shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd and of the flock.
Right. So you got the cattle that's going into like your beef, your sheep, your goats. They couldn't bring a giraffe, right? Or some rhinoceros, right? Or Esau, like we read in the Maccabees, they defiled the temple with certain like pigs, right? And nothing clean. And that's another cut brothers should know. If someone tells you about eating unclean meats, right? Let's get Job 14 and 4, right? With one quick precept about eating unclean meats, right? It's a cut for that, right? It's a big cut for it.
Job 14 and 4.
Yeah.
It says, who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean?
See that?
Not one.
Not what?
Not one.
See that? So anything that's unclean, you can't. Oh yeah, now it's clean. Otherwise, then Job's a liar. Right? So, pig is clean now, but most I never said it was clean. Right? So that shows you when it comes to the priesthood and how they would offer certain foods, there's a criteria. You can't just, oh yeah, I look, here's my dog. Right? Go on, King, what are you saying?
What about when they bring forth the precept and start talking about when you say it's not what goes in the mouth and they use that as justification. So they say that that's the kind of override for that. How would you reply to that?
Right. So how we would respond to that, right? We go to, let's read what it says.
That's what they generally come with. That's
Right.
their main substance that they come with.
I think they was talking about food.
Right. That's the issue. I was telling the brother today, right? They like to impose their understanding through just one precept.
Eisegeting,
Right.
Eisegeting.
But it says what it says, but what's the context?
Yeah, just like the Catholic.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Put it in their own word, and yeah, that's what I go, yeah.
That's how they are. Right, let's read. We can read Matthew 15 or we can read Mark 7.
You know what?
We can even start at 1 to get the context of what's being spoken about. Right?
Well, Matthew, yeah.
Yeah, Matthew 15.
This is Matthew chapter 15.
Because we just read it, it says nothing clean, nothing. Right? We just read in Job 14 and 4 about nothing. There's nothing clean that comes out of something that's unclean. Right? Let's read that thing.
15 and 7, yeah.
You could even start at 1 for the context.
Alright, this is Matthew 15 and 1. Then came to Yahushua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders, for they wash not their hands when they eat bread?
Right. So the context is talking about washing your hands, because when you go into the further into like Paul's writings, I think it's like in Colossians, it tells you how they had certain traditions of the elders that they imposed on Israelites. So they'll tell a brother, hey, look, let's say, hey, you haven't washed. One is washing your hands. You can't touch this. If you touch this, yeah, you're defiled, right? Or even, what else is there, man? Right? There's so many. It's like, for example, today we'll say, well, we don't say. I don't know any examples you say that people kind of impose through tradition rather than precepts of things that are deemed. That say this is a sin. You shouldn't do that.
I believe there was one where they'll disannul a vow towards your parents.
That's it. Yeah, that's another one.
Innit?
Yeah, just come.
One.
They say come and bring money.
Yeah.
Rather than facing the judgment of you know, being
Dishonoring your parents.
right.
Yeah.
Right. For example, so they would make excuses. Like, look, it's all right. Just pay us a little something. Right. So the context of what's being spoken about in Matthew, right, 15 is going into traditions of men. Right. This is the tradition of men here is the washing of hands. There's no sin. Oh, there's no. Remember, it says in the Bible where there's no law, there's no sin. So if there's no law, I says, like, for example, I always say this when we're at camp. Playing your PlayStation 5, there's no sin. There's no sin. Okay, yeah, you're playing. But now, they say, oh, right, it's a sermon, innit? Let's say you wake up, first thing, hey man, you sat back, right? Right, you know what I'm saying? So there's, you know, some things they go, it's borderline like kind of going into idolatry, you know what I'm saying? You know, so that's where the discernment kicks in, right? Sometimes I wake up, I kind of pick up my phone and I should be praying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of,
Yeah.
right? You sat there, right? Your alarm's going off. You snooze 5 times, right? But you know, again, not to excuse it, but these are things that are borderline idolatry, right? So again, there's no sin in playing your PS5, but now when you start waking up, pressing on the button and that, right? You can see where it's going to really lead to, like idleness. Right. You know, it's going to that point now, right? So the context of it, we can read down as well, King. Verse 3 now.
Matthew 15 and 3, but he answered and said unto them, Why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
Mm-hmm.
For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and
Right.
he that curseth
Exactly,
father
yeah.
or mother, let him die the death.
Right. So that's exactly the point Peter was saying. We can read on.
Says, But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me,
Yeah, but, oh,
and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus ye have made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition.
So they were imposing their traditions over what the commandments were saying. Now Christ is getting onto them. Hold on. You're not telling me about washing my hand, or the disciples not washing their hands, when really you guys are hypocrites because you don't actually teach the law. You try and impose the law on people, but then you're doing otherwise. So when we read down, right, he's Christ. When we go to verse 17, right, because we know, right, that when it comes to things that are, even in Revelation, it tells you about unclean birds. In Revelation 18:2, it tells you about unclean birds. So you can still see that there's a punishment for eating certain foods. Remember, the scripture's never going to cut scripture. Because, right, Christ, well, their understanding is Christ saying, oh, I can eat a bacon sandwich. Christ is not saying that. Why would Christ, that is teaching that we should, under grace, keep these commandments, he said to the lady, go and sin no more?
but I don't get it.
Go, okay.
Why they always say this and that and God don't change?
Mhm.
So if God don't change, what do they think Jesus is gonna come and change God?
That's what they actually think like though. That's
How
the
is
point.
that possible?
That's what they do. But even
Yeah.
when you read it, and Christ said, I'm not here to do my will, I'm here to do the will of the Father that sent me.
See?
So it shows you it's that bad exegesis of thinking that because Christ has brought grace and mercy, it means now, oh, I have grace and mercy. Give me a bacon sandwich. That's what really they're saying. Like it says in Galatians 5 or 6. I think it says don't abuse your grace, or don't abuse grace for for your lust, basically, for an occasion. Like seek not, probably not talking about, right? In Galatians, I think it's Galatians 5, I think.
That's what I was about to say. That why would you even want to eat something that God condemned in the beginning anyway?
Right.
Doesn't make no sense.
Right.
From that God was angry at you for eating that in the beginning, why would you then want to go to something that makes no sense?
Right.
It's justifying unrighteousness.
Because it's a delicacy.
And a quick point as well. There was a reason why he wanted sacrifices of clean animals.
Clean
Right.
animals.
Because the Levites, they ate it.
They ate it,
Right.
So why are you gonna? That's why no unclean. Even Noah, when he went in the ark, he took 7 clean
And
2 unclean.
Right.
Because the offering.
Right.
That's right.
Most High wants his sweet
Sweet savior.
Right, right.
That's right.
That's a good point.
And you ever say, anywhere where anyone says it was one way and then it changed, it's Christianity.
Right.
It's Christianity. Anytime it changed, it was like that. Now it's changed. Christianity.
Right.
Christianity.
So even let's read verse
17.
yeah, let's read 17.
Matthew 15 and verse 17. Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly and is cast out into the drawer.
Right. So obviously whatever you eat, right, it's gonna go, it's gonna come out of your body, right? Go on.
But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the mouth.
See that?
For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murderers, adulteries, fornication, thefts, false witnesses, and blasphemies.
Right. Hold on. So these things, they're all what? What do they all have in common? They're all what?
Sin.
Right. They're all sins. Right. Now read on. Christ is gonna summarize what the right. Right.
Verse 20. These are the things which defile a man.
Right. Because sin, marks your garment, innit? Right. Go on.
But to eat with unwashen hands defile not a man.
So the context is about eating foods without washing your hands.
Literally.
That's literally what it's speaking about. But they'll say, no. Christ is saying, whatever you put in your mouth and you eat it, you're fine. It's like, but hold on. But there's nothing that's not relevant that is being had in Matthew 15 or Mark 7. Right? Mark 7 doesn't change. Mark 7 is different. It's the same thing that's being said. It's just a different perspective. And remember, it says, from the mind, from the heart, proceedeth all these evil things. Jeremiah 17 tells you what? The heart is deceitful above all things. Because your mind will say, oh, well, it's just a bit of bacon. It's just a bit of what. No, that's your mind. Because remember, like it was going into the laws that the Most High set, they're divine. They're not, oh, well, they're just and they're good. Right? Man's laws, they change. Right? Just like Brother said, if it's anything where it says one thing and then saying it's another, that's Christianity. Right? You going to?
Just wanted to say, I think they use the Mark one more. But it says literally there is nothing from without a man that entering him can defile him. So they use that as the more, that one that you just read. I'm not saying it's weak in that sense, but they use
they'll
this
go
one
to
as
this
the more
more
robust one to say, look, no matter what's outside of a man, you doesn't defile him because look, he's telling us here, right?
They use that one more. They do.
right. We could even quickly go to there as well. If you want.
Mark 7.
Can start with us. So when we read the Gospels, it's the same account, right, from different perspectives.
Yeah, it's the same account.
Right. Let's read that.
Shall I
7.
start 14 or?
Read 7 and verse 2, Bob. Sure.
Mark 7 and verse 2.
Because this is going to show you what the issue that the Pharisees had. Remember, the Pharisees, firstly, right, the Christians are Pharisees, but the Pharisees really were trying to catch Christ out. That's the aim here. The aim, when you read it contextually, they're trying to say, hold on. Hey, he's like that. You know that movie in, I don't know, is it Belly? He's like, oh, the guy with the perm. He's like, I'm about to jump down on these niggas. Right? But I don't know if I've seen it, right? Right? Yeah. Right. So let's read that.
Mark 7 and verse 2. And when they saw some of the disciples eat bread with defiled, that is to say, with unwashed hands, they found fault.
Right. So their issue was, again, same context. Hold on. You're not supposed to be doing that. There's no law. Again, that's going back to the traditions that the Pharisees and the scribes and the Sadducees were putting on people. They say, hold on, that's wrong. But they couldn't really provide a precept. Like Chris can't provide a precept to show why it's wrong. Right? There's no precept for that. Oh, where you can't eat. There's no law for that. Right? So now let's jump to verse. So now he's talking about eating bread with unwashed hands. That's what the defiling is. That's what the Pharisees are claiming is defiling.
Yeah.
Right? It's not nothing to do with
no pork.
Right? No pork is not mentioned here because Christ. Remember, he's high priest, blameless, without guile, no sin. Now he's saying, "Hold on, I didn't eat pork, but you know what? Hold on, guys, you can." Right? All of you, everyone, Peter, quick, get the.
That would have made him have a blemish.
Right. Right, and that. Right. So that shows you that Peter was saying. If people are saying one thing and the scripture is saying another thing, the consistency, there's no consistency in saying, oh, well, Christ said we can do this. Then the law says this. Christ is the law. Now Christ is saying, hold on, you can break the law, but I can't.
Because isn't it later on after this that it's talking about any man that's being found like eating the mouse or the swine?
Isaiah 60. But it is after. Right. Can't. So,
after this.
Right. So that shows you there's no judgment. The judgment hasn't happened yet for that. So nothing clean, nothing that's unclean are nice clean.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Right. Even like that's what when it comes to like let's say like your wife's unclean, for example, can't make food. Let's say for the feast day, she touched the food and unclean. That she'd be making the food unclean. That's why brothers use that precept to Job 14:4 to show you that she's unclean. The next day it's clean. It doesn't work like that. She's unclean. The food's going to be unclean.
Everything she touches.
Right.
Don't say that.
See that? Right.
Don't say that.
So let's get even when you read verse 20, Baba Kashan.
Mark 7 verse 20. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders. And
hold on. It says that which cometh out of the man. Right? Firstly.
Out of the heart of men.
Right. So it's what. So you see, even that's nothing to do with me putting something in my mouth. It's coming from within myself that's causing me to be defiled, which is really that's your lust. So it's the things that are from within you that are gonna defile you. Because they come out like it says in James 3:6, like about the words you say, they can cause hell. So that's from where does that start from? Where do all actions start from? They start from the thought. What kind of
So not to put you in the hot seat. But when you say there is nothing from a man, if they wanted to zoom in on this and analyze it, they would still say.
On what verse?
15.
Let's read 15, Bob.
Verse 15. There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him, but the things which come out of him, those are they that defile them.
Right, and I want to get it in the blue letter as well. Right, I love reading. I've been reading the Greek. I hear you.
They would say that nothing. There is nothing. So nothing means whatsoever, right? Nothing means whatsoever. So they're gonna hold on to this now and say, look,
like the word.
like nothing. There's nothing at all.
Everybody.
That what a man puts in defiling. So they're gonna use it.
This is the thing. Can I just quickly
Go on.
Can I just quick read? I'll read down to 18, because we started at I'll read down to 19, and then 19. So it says. So I'll start at 16 again. Mark 7:16. It said, "If any man have ears to hear, let him hear." And when he was entered into the house from the people, the disciples asked him concerning the parable. And he saith unto them, Are ye so without understanding? Also, do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him? But because it entereth not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the drawer, purging all meat. So it says here, like, because it entereth not into his heart. So that's not actually talking about eating as well, because it's talking about your heart, which is your mind. But they see belly and they run to that. But again, it's a parable. It says, if you have ears to hear, let him hear. So that's why, isn't it?
And again, like, let's get John 10 and I think verse 35, just to emphasize on that same point, right? Where it says there's nothing. So again, the context of Mark 7, right? It's always talking about them, the apostles or the Pharisees or Sadducees, whichever Israelite sect it is, falsely accusing them of eating food with defiled hands. But again, this is Christ. Read that precept first, then I could.
John 10 and verse 35.
Yeah.
Says, if he called them gods unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken.
Right.
Say ye of him whom the Father hath sanctified and sent into the world.
Right. So it says the scripture, that's the point I want to harbor on. The scripture cannot be broken. So if the scripture tells us, all right, look, this is unclean, this is clean. Right? It shows you that, hold on, you're saying now, okay, the food is clean. This is blessed and say amen. No, that's not what it says, because you're cutting the scripture now. You know what I'm saying? So there's no consistency in saying, okay, well, hold on. This is clean now. Bless it and say amen. All praise to the Most High. That's
Still
it.
doesn't change about that. That's something.
Right. It doesn't. You got a point?
Yeah. I had 2 points with that. I think it was Matthew 15 and 36. We get that coming. I believe.
Matthew
It's
15.
Not 12. 36, sorry, it's 12.
Matthew 12 and verse 36.
What's that say?
It says, but I say unto you that every idle
That's
word
Go on.
that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment.
So when Christ is saying it's not what goes in can defile, but what come without, you have to understand that every idle word you're going to be held accountable for. So things that you're speaking and saying, these are things. Go on, keep reading.
Yeah, it says, verse 37, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
See that there? So it's what's coming out that's condemning you.
Yeah.
Obviously, that doesn't mean that the pig can't unclean you or whatever. You understand? Because we're going to show you something. Let's get Luke 15
Mm.
and let's start
Prodigal son.
11. Nah, it's not 11. You know that one?
I think so.
This is Luke 15 and verse 11.
Go on,
And he said, a certain man had 2 sons.
go on.
And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of good that falleth to me.
Go on,
And he divided unto them his living.
go on.
And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with righteous living.
All right, so we're not going to go into the story too much, but basically, he's killed up all his money, yeah? So go on.
14. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in the land, and he began to be
In want.
in want.
So he's getting hungry, things are happening, ran out of money, right? Go on.
And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country,
He went and joined something in that country, go on.
and he sent him into the fields to feed swine.
All right, so he's hungry, got no food, belly, you know what I'm saying? And he sent him into a field to feed swine, go on.
And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat, and no man gave it unto him.
Now, 1 second, he's hungry. Why did he eat the swine?
Exactly. Because
You know why? The swine weren't considered food.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not even considered food. So when they're talking about unwashing hands and all that, defile and all that,
What verses is that?
it is 15. Probably start like 11 to about 16. Yeah? It's not even considered food.
You're right.
So when they're talking about unwashing hands, pork's not even in the question. Prawns, all of it's not even in the question. Not even going to be thinking about that. It would never come to their front of their mind. Because we wouldn't even consider it. Never consider it as food. Keep going.
Verse 17.
Go on.
And when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger.
He's about to perish with hunger. There's swine in the field, and he's not eating the swine. Why is he eating swine?
Just quick point. Even like in that 16, he went to eat the food that the pigs were eating.
Yeah.
You know, not the pigs themselves.
That's why I was here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Quick point. I know it goes to
Nah, you
prison,
too.
but you see when the 2,000 demons
Yeah.
on the
Went
guy,
into the swine.
they asked to go into the swine.
Yeah.
Unclean.
Unclean.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
They eat swine that's got food, and even they ran off the cliff.
That's it.
Yeah, they couldn't handle it. Yeah, that's peak.
And even so you got more.
No. Go on.
Even in that point, go to First Maccabees 1:47.
First Maccabees 1 verse 47.
Okay, start at verse 40. Start at verse 46. So this is obviously going into where Israel has. This is where we get Hellenized. We started following the Greeks, and now we're doing discourse, gymnasium spirit. Right? We go to the gymnasium. You know about the gymnasium,
Yeah.
right?
Back in the day,
Yeah,
Got it started.
when the gay thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
And they'd have like young boys and that.
Yeah.
You know, the mad thing, fam. Right?
One time I stopped going gym, but yeah.
See that?
Wow,
See that? Let's read that.
That
That brothers can't go to the gym though.
Yeah.
it's mad.
No, hey, the gym, man. The gym is mad.
Mad place, huh?
Lad,
Yeah.
see,
man, with the man with time.
lad, I don't know if brothers remember that thing that Mike Tyson when he that boxing match and that, right? You know that thing he was wearing.
With Jake.
that thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I think one guy at the gym, he sat down on the bench. I said, now the gym's defiled.
Oh.
He sat down on the bench wearing that thing. I said, they got to shut down the gym now. Yeah,
A male fountain.
yeah.
Man.
You got to shut down the gym now, fam. He just sat on the bench and that. Nothing's odd, fam. I said, they got to close the gym now, fam. Now he's standing up. Now he's standing. You can't even sit down now, fam. But it's mad. Damn it, I'm telling you, it's crazy, fam. There's spirits in the gym, man. Right?
Yeah.
Spirits. Eves and that. I see.
Vain.
Yeah, remember we went to gym one time. Eve, this one Eve, she got a damn what's that? No, like them influencers and that had a little stand and that. You remember that the short Eve? She was all doing this. I'm trying to do the damn ad machine. She's on the background. I was like that. I kind of was like, oh, bro, like let me get out of this, isn't it? She's on the step master. She's got the thing like that.
on the live and
Yeah, fam.
YouTube, TikTok, and that.
And then she's kind of like, she's pausing and she kind of talk to someone. Madness.
And you're in it.
Yeah, I'm just in the back. I'm just in the back now, just trying to get my game. Like, just doing the back thing, like, right? It's madness, man. The gym is. Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to be in that. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Go to the gym. Now you're trying to do rowing. That's what I'm saying. The gym is dark. You're trying to do rowing in front of you. You got time just people doing this, man. Now you have to look that way. You see what I'm saying?
And you see how they got the layout as well. It's like they'll have the step machine,
Right.
and then they'll have another step machine in front. Like,
Yeah, it's madness. It's right
why
in
not
front
have
of you.
them have them facing? You know what I'm saying?
Madness.
Yeah.
Madness. Gym is madness, fam. Right? But let's read that.
First Maccabees 1 verse 46.
Yeah.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people,
Right?
set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
So see that they were sacrificing in the temple, right? This is the abomination, the desolation of abomination, where they came into the temple and they start, put pork here and do this. That's what they were really doing. Even when you read the other precept, probably go into dedications where the mother with the 7 sons, and they were constrained to, even when we read the Maccabees, they were constrained to eat pork, right? And they didn't do it. You know, so there's a plethora of precepts that will show you that eating pork is not, you know what I'm saying, right? Or eating unclean foods.
What that lady and her son went through
Right. See that?
for not eating that swine.
Right.
That's to show the power that fat swine is really.
Right, and that's why again it's measured by your faith,
Yeah.
right? Because in the Islam thing, if you're about to die, then you're allowed to eat. So they got bits and pieces of the Torah, right, and remix it. Okay, but you can eat camel. So that shows you they say Abrahamic, but when did Abraham teach Ishmael to eat camels? See, Abraham didn't teach Isaac. Yeah, look, eat camel. It's not there. Read Leviticus, right? It tells you that in Leviticus. I think like verse 3 or something. Right, you got precept as well.
No, but yeah, there's another point in 6 as well. Second Maccabees 6.
Yeah,
Eleazar.
yeah. Read that.
Yeah.
Let's read that.
Yeah, 6. I don't know where to really start because it's quite a bit long-winded, but Second Maccabees 6 and verse 18 I'll start at. It says, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to
Hold on. He was a priest.
Yeah.
Remember he's a priest. So he knows the law. So he's gonna know the law, right? Let's see what he done.
It says, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh, but choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
Right, see that? So what point?
Nah, man, that's it.
That's plain. You know what I'm saying? So they die false, and that's like Esau. He'll use a Jake to really okay something, even in today, from eating pork or homosexuality, anything. We can get one Jake on it, right? And now you got Samuel L. Jackson. Go get your jab. They just need one person to do it. No, but that's the example. That's the example. They'll use Jake, like they'll use our people to market it. Yeah, look at him. When they got these not boxers, the basketball players wearing dresses. You got these big guys, fam, walking in the. What's that one, man? Not James Harden.
James Wade.
Dwayne Wade. He is off.
Dwayne Wade.
Even Russell.
Yeah. These are guys. They're all like. Right, even what's his name, Lil Baby, man. Right, you know about Lil Baby, right? You seen that picture where he's getting sandwiched. He's getting sandwiched in some all-white party. One guy's in the front hugging him. One guy's in the back hugging him.
I did see that.
Right,
Yeah, I saw it.
right. So
Treating like a little baby.
see that right? He's probably gonna be 32, little baby, right? But you know, it shows you how even from the scriptures they need someone, especially the high priest, get the high priest to do it.
And when you read on as well, they took him aside and said, "Look,
Read it.
yeah.
Prove all things, man.
So this is verse 20, second Maccabees 6 and 20. And as it behoved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted, but they that had the charge of that wicked feast for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make it as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
That's set up.
Yeah.
That's
So you
Come on.
eat something clean, but pretend it's poor.
Yeah.
Oh!
Everyone to follow it because he was a priest.
And that's really that's what they're doing now, man.
Yeah, that's so you're talking
With these psyops, man.
Yeah.
I was talking to my dad about it with these psyops, man.
It's like
You know?
like I heard this thing like a Jewish man used to ask people to come and switch the light on.
Yeah. That's what they'll do.
because the sun went down.
Yeah.
On their own
I can't break the Sabbath.
on the Sabbath.
You break it though. You break it for me. That's off. Yeah. That's mad.
To cook for you or something.
Yeah. Hey, look, I can't cook, but hey, hold that.
Have a thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't buy this, but let me give you £20. Hey, buy this for me, bro.
That makes no
Madness.
That makes
You
no
know,
sense.
so
Yeah.
that point is harboring on they'll use people, and that's like the site I was saying about psyops. Like even that thing in Manchester, man. Right? They'll use these things to
Agenda.
influence
Yeah.
everyone's opinions. Not everyone say, okay, oh, so sorry. But we've been going through it for decades. Oh, no one's saying, oh, we're gonna give you 1 month. We're gonna give you 1 month. But hold on, they get a whole street ambulance. They get their own police. The police were there in 7 minutes.
No, I think
I thought I said like 7 minutes.
3 or 4, 4 to 7 minutes or something.
Call the police.
Armed police. as well.
Call the police in Stonebridge. See how long they take.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See how long they take.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how long they take. Oh yeah, just been robbed. Oh yeah, we'll be there in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Madness.
Hold the line. Right, and then they put you through to that answer machine, and a damn countdown song starts playing, man. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Man, you got any points to add?
No.
Right? That's what off topic and that, isn't it? But all praises, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I think I got like 2 precepts anyway. Right? Let's go to Leviticus. Was it Leviticus 1 and 3? Let's go to Leviticus 1 and 3.
This is Leviticus chapter 1 and verse 3, and it reads, if his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord.
Right, so again, your burnt offering, again, you'd offer it, to the door of the tabernacle, right? Or in front of the door of the tabernacle. Again, and that's, again, showing you foreshadowing of Yahushua, right? Going into showing he's that high priest, you know what I'm saying? Because, like it says in 1 Timothy, right, that's why Yahushua can't be the Most High God. Because who's the one that's doing, or, being given the atonement, for Israel. Like it says he was bruised for our iniquities in Isaiah 53. So is that the Most High that's being bruised? Oh yeah, the Most High, he's bruised. Oh,
But he never said he was kind.
That's right. So see that?
He
So
never said it once.
at all. But again, that's the bad exegesis, right? Read on, Baba Kishore.
Verse 4, and he shall put his hand upon the herd, and he should put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him.
Right. So really, what that was doing is passing the sin to the animal because it was in your place. Like for example, when you read, like let's go Genesis 48 and verse 16. Even with blessings, when it comes down to it, like Jacob, when he was to bless Ephraim and Manasseh, really the first born right? Or the eldest son, he's supposed to get the blessing. Jacob's like, hold on, no. There's something about Ephraim. He's gonna be, he's gonna be a nation of a multitude of nations. I believe it says. So I think in verse 16 or 17. Maybe.
17.
Go on.
It says Genesis 48 and verse 17. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him.
Come on.
And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly is his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
So that's showing you that the blessings, right, or even when it comes to sin, right, like it goes into I think in Leviticus, I think maybe 4, I think it talks about the scapegoat, where the sin, right, there will be an atonement for the whole congregation. It will be put into this animal, right, and that would die, and that would be the blood being shed would be the atonement for the congregation, right? Just like in a blessing, the blessing would be put, through, like passed on to the son, we praise to the Most High. You're going to be so and so, you know what I'm saying? That's how it really works, right? I get one more precept and kind of can close up there still, unless you got any more points.
One little point.
Right. You want to bring it up?
Yeah, what do you think?
Right. I've got to find it though. Actually, I got it. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 3 and let's go to verse 11. So again, when you read through Leviticus, really it's going into the different offerings that are given. When you go into like Numbers, it tells you what offerings or what would be killed for on different feast days. Like we read in Numbers 29, it told you what, and it's a long list, man. It's a long list. Right? Let's read that, Brother Kashan.
Leviticus 3 and verse 11. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Go on.
And if his offering be a goat, then he shall offer it before the Lord, and he shall lay his hand upon the head of it and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation, and the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle the blood thereof upon the altar round about.
Right. So literally again, he would lay his hand on that animal, and that would bear the right. Or let's say someone committed whatever they committed. Right. And it passed on to the animal, and that dies. Remember, it says in Leviticus, is it Leviticus 17 or Genesis? Leviticus 17, so that there's life in the blood. So that blood being shed is the covering for that sin. Just like Yahweh's blood being shed, his blood is the atonement for the children of Israel, right? And it covers that, their iniquity, right? But come, you got it, Ken.
Yeah.
Come.
Yeah, man, all praise. So man, a few little ones. Okay. Obviously we're going into the Feast of Tabernacles. We'll wrap it up as well. Obviously we've got two newbies here. Tabernacles first time, so we're going to go through a few little things regarding Tabernacles. So let's go to the classics one. Go to Leviticus 23. And let's start at the 34 first.
This is Leviticus 23 and verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord.
So that's what we're in today. So sundown today. Right now, this is the 15th day of the 7th month, right? So it's gonna be Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days, right? Keep reading.
On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Yeah, so that's a Shabbaton. So we're gonna keep that for that's the first day. Go on.
7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation
That's what.
unto you.
That's why we're here 8 days, because that 8 days a holy convocation. We're gonna link up on that 8th day as well. All right.
Yeah.
Slovakia. All right. Go on, keep going.
And you shall
Sentimental things.
offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and you shall do no servile work therein.
You shall do no servile work therein, so we can't be working for months. So that's the first day and the last day of Tabernacles. Okay, yeah, you can cook on those days,
Right.
but there'll be no purchasing on those days. Okay, all right, we'll keep going.
These are the feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offering, everything upon his day.
Yeah, so obviously we don't do the sacrificial part till we get our temple back. All right, the sacrificial law is not done away with.
Right. I was gonna hover on that.
Yeah, the sacrificial law is not done away with.
Can you one point?
Go on, man.
Can I get Ezekiel 45 and 17? Just to harbor on that point. Because like you said, there isn't, no one can prove, okay, I go back to the sons of Aaron. No one can prove that. Because remember, it says, that's what that endless genealogy really goes into. If you read Ezra 2, it says that, they tried to bring up, they couldn't show the proof of their fatherhood, their genealogy, so they were seen as polluted from the priestly office. Because you had to show, you couldn't just say, look, I'm a son of Aaron. They're gonna say, yo, get the hell out of here. Remember, if you come, remember, if a stranger came close to the tabernacle, they would die. And we need to see, show me your ID. It's like, entering the CIA building, show me your ID, scan your thumb here. All right, cool, let him through. That's how it works. Let's read that, Salakia.
Ezekiel 45 and verse 17. And it shall be the prince's part to give burnt offerings and meat offerings and drink offerings in the feast and in the new moons and in the Sabbath, in all solemnities of the house of Israel. He shall prepare the sin offering and the meat offering and the burnt offering and the peace offerings to make reconciliation for the house of Israel.
So that shows you, even in the kingdom, hey, really, let's go into how shy. That's the one that's giving those offerings, man. Right, doing those sacrifices for us, showing that priesthood, or that, like you said, it's not done away with. There's no temple, right? There's no priest that shows his lineage, approves the lineage. Okay, you got it.
Go. Yes, it's not done away with. Don't anything's on pause.
Right.
All right, and so let's read the next verse.
Leviticus.
You can.
Leviticus 23 and verse 38. Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your freewill offerings which ye give unto the Lord.
Yes, so it's showing you, as well as the Sabbath, this is what we do. You understand? As well as the Sabbath when they come along. Verse 38, it says, beside the Sabbath of the Lord and beside your gifts. What it's saying basically is, beside the Sabbaths that come up, this is what we do. Yeah? Right? Keep reading.
Verse 39, also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land.
So as the pastor was saying earlier, is obviously when you've gathered in the rest of the yield at the end of the summertime.
It's like a period.
Yeah.
Agricultural year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the ingathering one.
He shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days.
It's that last yield just before the winter. We have a feast, basically. Feast day. Go on.
On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
That's a Shabbaton. That's not the 7th day Sabbath. That's a celebratory Sabbath. Go on.
And he shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of fig trees and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
I'm gonna go and do that. Yeah. So basically, what they did basically is, when I was in I used to be in Scouts, yeah, and they used to do this thing called a bivvy, and they basically would make a kind of like a tent out of the bush. So if anyone ever walked through parks and you see like a bush area, would have made a shelter kind of thing. You've seen it before, Grant, where they made a shelter in a park somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically a bivvy. That's this in the scriptures. All right. So, but what we try and do is obviously we do the best and we dwell in our tents. But also what we do is we go out and get some branches, get some goodly branches, goodly boughs, and then we put them on our tents just to try and as remembrance. Right. All right. Keep going.
Says branches of palm trees and boughs of fig trees and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
Yes, so they're going to rejoice for the Lord your God 7 days. Go on.
And ye shall keep it.
Oh, okay. I'll speed up for you, brother.
And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year.
Go on.
It shall be a statute forever in your generation. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th
Not
month.
there. So 7 days in the year be a statute throughout all your generations. Go on.
Ye shall dwell in booths 7
So we
days.
must dwell in booths. It's a commandment that you must dwell in booths. Now, what was Paul's job? What?
I was going to go to that.
Oh, you gonna?
I was in Acts.
Oh, what you?
Yeah.
All right. So go on. You got it.
Acts 18 or 19 when he was with Priscilla and Aquila, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't. Here we go. This is Acts chapter 19, and we'll start from 2. Apart from Rome, and came unto them, and because he was of the same craft, he abode with them and wrought for their occupation. They were tent makers.
Yeah, so one of Paul's occupations was tent maker.
Right.
Now, obviously even when you're in the truth now, you start to think of things that can help. You can do business,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying, both at the same time, innit?
Yeah.
Acts 19 and 4.
So we're dwelling in booths, and Paul's for maybe a tent maker. We've got to do feast days anyway.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. I'm thinking of trying to find a way to start making chauffeurs. I don't want brothers in these chauffeurs, fringes, or you know what I mean. Doing the same thing.
Fringe and stitch.
Fringe and stitch.
Lily works.
Lily works. You know what I mean. It's the same thing, innit?
Right.
That's what Paul did. But you know what I'm saying. Everyone's keeping tabernacles. You know what I mean. Everyone needs a tent.
Right.
To make some money as well as for a righteous reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So it says there, you shall dwell in booths 7 days. And read 42 again, please, Brother Kushab.
Verse 42, ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in
You
booths.
must dwell in a booth 7 days. All that Israelite born. Okay, if you ain't Israelite born, it ain't for you right now. Okay. And there's a reason as well. Because remember I said earlier how they say, black people don't camp. Yeah, there's a reason. Right, keep going.
Verse 43, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths
Go on.
when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am Yahweh your God.
See that there? So what it's basically saying there is you need to remember what your forefathers do. So we're going to quickly forget and we ain't going to come out here. We're not looking to come out here. Like,
Too cold.
It's too cold. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be this, going to be that. But if he's taught us to do this, to remember what our forefathers did, we're going to forget. We've got to be out here in the elements where it's cold. Remember there's a hole.
Down here, so I don't want to trade with her cousin. When I told her that I'm coming camping, she had never none of it.
Yeah, no.
I'll never do that.
Never do that.
She said, you know how it works. It's not
Yeah,
even in it.
yeah.
So like, yeah. But he even off here, they'll say that they know wear the shortest skirt outside in the cold.
In the cold.
No, I'm not cold.
At a raid.
Yeah.
At a raid, man.
Yeah, she's cold, you know.
Or even them outdoor festivals.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, disconnecting.
Disconnect, you know.
Madness.
And we're, as I said, we will just chill. We're homeboys, we're just gonna chill in it. But we need to know, we're gonna get out here, rough it for a bit, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Yeah. And you know, there's no excuses either, you know, because the kids adapt to it. The kids love it. Babies, they love it, man. Yeah. No excuses, man.
I got a point. Like I used to be in cadets, innit?
Yeah.
And then we had to camp outside, innit? And even really, you'd have people keeping watch. we had that. I think you were saying it. Remember, I think I said it last time. There, we'd kind of obviously it was no one there because it's like an army kind of like a ground basically, and obviously you kind of stay watch at that. You kind of sleep in or whatever. But then I remember I was out there for time. You waited for the next man to come. Like, yeah, go back. Because we had different watches in it. You know what I'm saying? You know, but just to add on to that point, still.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, man. Got me out here, man. It's beautiful. Right, keep reading.
Verse 44 says, and Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of Yahweh.
All right then. Now let's go to Nehemiah 8, and I believe it's 15. Yeah.
Moses there as well, he said declared, never just brought down the tables of stone, like you were saying earlier. Verbally asked for, man.
Start from the 14th verse.
This is
actually 13. 13, yeah.
Nehemiah 8 and 13. And on the second day were gathered together the chief of the fathers of all the people, the priests and the Levites, unto Ezra the scribe, even to understand the words of the law.
Yeah. Well.
And they found written in the law which Yahweh had commanded by Moses, that the children of Israel shall dwell in booths.
So I believe they're coming out of a captivity now, yeah? So they've obviously had to come together to read the law, to get back familiarized with what's going on. And they've found in there you got to dwell in booths, yeah? In 7th month, go on.
In the feast of the 7th month, and that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, go forth unto the mount and fetch olive branches and pine branches and myrtle branches and palm branches and branches of fig trees to make booths, as it is written.
Right there, yeah. So they went out, grabbed branches, and they made booths out of the branches. You know what I mean? We try and do our best and jump in a tent, but they were making, out of the branch, and it works as well. It worked. Yeah. It's waterproof as well. Yeah, it's tough, but it's waterproof, you know. Yeah. Proper still. It actually works, man. Proper works, man. All right, keep going.
Verse 16. So the people went forth and brought them, and they made themselves booths, every one upon the roof of his house.
So what they've done is obviously some of them didn't go out into like a campsite, so to speak. There's someone who's gone, onto my roof. So obviously, it's not like how we got it in the UK, where obviously you probably slide off the roof and that.
And sorry, the quick point. You see, we have all the triangles. Theirs was a flat. Because of the heat, it keeps it doesn't, That's why in hot countries they have flat roofs.
Okay, that's why, Okay.
It's a heat thing.
I learn something new every day still. But yeah, so they're on they did it on their roof of their houses. Go on.
It says, I'll read it again. 16. So the people went forth and brought them and made themselves booths, every one upon the roof of his house, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of God, and in the street of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim.
So here's what he's saying there, yeah? They got it done. No matter what happens, they've got it done. You know what I mean? They go in their garden, go on the roof, go in the courts, up in the road, behind the bus stop, just getting it done, making sure.
Darren did, he said he could get a home.
Yeah, man, anywhere, man. As long as you do it, that's the. Don't be gonna do it. I'm gonna.
Next year.
Yeah. And even if you're building up to it, man, build up to it. If you have to do something. You know what I mean? I remember my first ever Tabernacles. I got a sheet, stapled it to the wall, tucked it under the bed, got off the bed. I'm like, 15 years ago, you did the same thing. Yes, I did, man. Got off the bed, man. First thing I had to get off the bed was rough it, then boom, in the living room. You know what I'm saying?
And the tent inside.
Yeah, the tent inside the living room. Yeah, the kids in there. You know what I mean? And then boom, I kind of doing a little bit camping out somewhere. Boom, then I end up out here, man. Well, you gotta start somewhere, innit?
Yeah,
you gotta start somewhere, man. Don't want to start out with that same spot and start being super camper and all that. You know what I mean? But the main thing here is they got it done. They found out they had to do tabernacles, and I just thought, something on my roof. But the main thing is they got in the booth, didn't stay in the yard. Thing, all right, keep going.
Verse 17, and all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths and sat under the booths. For since the days of Joshua, the son of Nun, unto that day had not the children of Israel done so, and there was a very great gladness.
You right, one.
Also, day by day, from the first day unto the last day, he read in the book of the law of God, and they kept the feast 7 days, and on the 8th day was a solemn assembly according to the manner.
And that's why we're out here 8 days, because the first 7 days, Feast of Tabernacles, and the 8 days is the Holy Convocation. And then obviously them coming out of the captivity. You know what I mean? Just like we're trying to come out of captivity, what are we doing? The same thing. Trying our best and keep building. And that's, man, it didn't start like this at first, you know what I'm saying? Got to keep building up in it. You know what I mean? At first, we had the tabernacle that blew over the bush in it. You know what I mean? That blew into the road in it. To drag it back over, and now we've got the steel pole thing. Hopefully, this holds up better.
Yeah, this is
Keep doing better. Just keep doing better, man. Just keep doing better and better than me. Might do 3 days this year, 4 days this year, and then next minute, you know, I'm banging a full 8 in it. Yeah, next minute, you're banging a full 8.
Right.
Full 8 in.
Yeah,
You know, see that build up, just build. That's the main thing, man. Just do your best and just build up. You know what I mean? Get a little taste of what's going on and keep going. That's the main thing, brothers. You know what I'm saying? So what we're gonna try and do, if most of them like yet tomorrow or something, we're gonna get some of them branches and stick some branches on our tents and that, just to stay in the spirit. You know what I mean? We've got an itinerary as well. So most people have got a copy of the itinerary, yeah? Got a few little things going on and that. And yeah, man. We got that tomorrow. Yeah, you okay with that tomorrow? Yeah, so, yeah, man can get up. 11 a.m., man. Little kick around. Yeah, man. Do
You
something.
might hear the chauffeur in the morning.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
kind
man.
of wait.
I hear that, man. And then 3 p.m. We'll try and be here every day, 3 p.m. for prayer and anointing as well. And then we'll either run we'll run whatever we're gonna run from here and then move forward. We're gonna go for a walk or something. And do you know what I mean? Yeah. We'll also have a closing class and a Friday class, right? Calm, man. Well, yeah, man. Let's keep it on the itinerary and we'll try and stick to it as much as we can.
You go live for some of these?
Yeah.
You going live?
Yeah, for the classes.
Yeah, this live right now.
Yeah.
Okay, come. And because remember, I'm not
Right.
here for the last part. So
Friday,
Yeah, we'll
live.
yeah.
Friday live, and the closing class will be live. Let's go from there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Any points?
Nah, man. They praise to the Most High, man.
Yeah, man. We'll pray. We'll keep it going, man.
I got a quick question.
What?
See, like, there's no server work to be done on the first day, right?
Yeah.
Or on the last day, right?
Yeah, but
So, what?
you're gonna say you can work any other outside of those days.
Nah, that's not.
Okay, okay.
It's cool. So can you do? What's that one? Okay, cool. Can you do gym work on those days? Because it doesn't say it's a day of rest, does it?
What in between the servos?
No, on the server. Because it's not server work, you're not working for nobody, right? So can you do gym work in that day?
I would.
Somebody was saying that.
Because it's not saying you can't do any work, it's
I
saying you
wouldn't.
can't do server. Now what's server
Yeah,
work?
oh, right.
What's the
I
technicality
wouldn't.
behind server?
I mean,
For
you
hire.
got it.
Working for hire. So if you do gym work for your own purpose, then there's nothing written that says you can't work out.
I got a preset.
Go ahead.
It's Isaiah 58:13. Right? Because I personally wouldn't. Nah, some people on the Sabbath day they'll go to gym.
Yeah. What's his name, though?
Yeah, we're not gonna say that. Right? Yeah, they're gonna say that.
You're right.
Well, we know.
So the most even made you forget the name and
See that?
You're right.
38 and 13.
Yeah, it's a good
58 and 13.
picture.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah 58 and verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
That's what I'd say.
come on, but that's a 7th day Sabbath.
So the point is the when it comes to the Sabbath we're keeping, it is it's parallel with the 7-day Sabbath minus the cooking.
If
Because
that's the case, how we doing kickbox exercise then in the morning?
is that today that we're doing that, or is that the following? Because
So the day that we've just come into, is this going to be classed as the first now?
this would be the start of Tabernacles.
So it's the first day.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that means tomorrow morning is still going to be the first day.
So then we wouldn't be doing that on the first day then. So after sundown, then we do that.
Keep up to the council.
So
They're the only way to do it.
do that.
That's the case, and we just stay in line with things, and then we do it on the Monday.
So what's the point? What have you used as the preset to come to that conclusion?
Isaiah 58 and 13.
But that's a space on the page.
So, well, we can read it again.
Really?
We can read it again. Or we can read it in another translation.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
No, I got it. Take your time, man. Yeah. Makes sense, yeah. Because if we're not doing anything else pertaining to that day, and we're only cooking, and we're not going out spending, which is not pleasure, and anything else also ties into that.
Right.
It
So
don't make no sense to do other things like that's pleasure. It wouldn't be really for pleasure, would it?
Not really, no.
Would right.
Whatever you're doing is your pleasure. It's a pleasure.
because
Right, yeah, no, he's right. He mucks in still for entertainment and all. Yeah.
just to add as well, it's like the Sabbaths are days that are supposed to be set apart in it.
Mhm.
You know, so a day that's set apart, you know, I wouldn't do things I would do on a regular day. You know what I'm saying?
Now
You
you're
know.
doing it for the most part.
Unless it's like, let's say, camp or you know things that pertain to ministry. But
Yeah, because it says on the Sabbath day, it says do all thy work.
Yeah.
What we're doing, that's the Lord's work.
Do well on the Sabbath.
Yeah, do well on Sabbath. But the camping, that's the Lord's work, not thy work.
So you see the day that we just come out of, the Sabbath day,
Yeah,
that was nothing to do with Tabernacles, was it?
nothing.
nah.
So the work that we've done in building this
Mhm.
on the Sabbath,
But it doesn't Lord's work.
Can't.
To be
So you're now in here in class because of the work you just put in.
yeah.
And
You just did the Lord's work.
I've got one precept as well. Let's go to
Even though it's work though, right?
Can't.
It's work, but it's the Lord's work. Remember, it says in the 6 days do all thy work. The 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord. That's when you do the Lord's work. You know what I mean? You're not doing your work.
Give me Ezra.
Did you plan to do this?
Exactly.
Israel.
No, what I was more focused on, I knew it was the Lord's work. You see when it's saying like a day of rest?
Yeah, you can rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can rest.
Right.
But if you're doing, you can work the Lord's work. You can do the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if that was the case, no one would be out doing anything. You won't see nobody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna get done.
Unless you would set it up from a couple of days before or whatever.
Yeah.
You could do.
Or you could assemble it on the day of
You could do.
Tabernacles.
But there'll be nothing wrong in doing the Lord's work, and obviously we're sitting in.
Now, because I know a couple of people fretting about doing certain things on the Sabbath, and then so obviously this is major compared to what they were fretting about.
What do you mean?
What does it
You know, like just little things like I don't know, traveling on the Sabbath. Some people have got problems with that. They don't really like doing that. You know what I'm saying? I've known a few people that don't like doing certain things, and they say it's a grey area because that's still kind of a bit of work.
The way I would differentiate things is if it's the Lord's work or not. I wouldn't travel just for my own pleasure sake. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't travel for that. What I would do is I'd go and do the Lord's work on the Sabbath day. And as I said, anyone decided wanted to have a rest, to rest in it. You want to put a brick in for the Most High, make sure you put your brick in on it. Ain't nothing wrong. It said, do all thy work. You know what I mean? You can get all you want to do in the 6th, and 7th is for the Most High. You know what I mean? If you're out there at camp in -1, you ain't out there because you want to be out there, innit? You know, you know what I mean? You're doing the Lord's work, innit? And then the same thing I'd have said with like this. I mean, you didn't plan to do this. You wouldn't have done this. We'll still be there chatting down there doing something. You know what I mean?
Makes sense to cancel that. Then.
It would make sense. I mean, we live and we learn as we're doing it.
Can't. And even to add on what you said, you know.
I didn't put the two together, by the way, until you
forgot.
said it.
Yeah. And that's what brothers are really for, innit?
Yeah,
When you
can't.
come down to,
Can't.
you know, hearing discourse like
But
that.
that's why I had to analyze that.
Can't.
I was hearing here and then project that
Right,
back
right,
in order
right.
to come to this. That's what the Most
Can't.
High does. You get what I'm saying? Using the brothers as mirrors. Like,
Yeah, man. Keep it clean, innit?
yeah, man. Of course.
Even to add that in the law, there were like a certain point that you could travel by, if that makes sense. So you couldn't go a certain distance basically
yeah.
in the
Right,
law.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a precept on that. I don't have it for mine, but
7, you got it. I ain't
see
know.
that. So there was in terms of that, you couldn't go. Let's say you're trying to do, I don't know, brother, going from here to London just for no reason, like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that,
Okay.
you wouldn't do that unless like Paul. Let's say Paul, he might have like Paul travelled for the ministry state.
Yeah.
He travelled from, I don't know,
Yeah,
Greek to
Greece
Rome to
Rome,
this place to this
yeah.
place. He won't just go, okay, I'm just going to see my boy. I'm linking Barnabas. He's going to strengthen the ministry. But obviously in the law, there were, you couldn't travel for, a certain point. You know what I'm saying? But again, like it says,
14 verse 24.
you could read it, Bob. Sure.
Go on, then.
You want to read it? Yeah.
I'm subscribing.
Oh, see that?
That's why I'm so quiet.
Okay, you good.
No,
Was it Deuteronomy 14?
24.
Okay,
24?
Start from verse 23 to 24.
Deuteronomy 14 and verse 23, yeah? Says, and thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God have blessed thee, then shall carry on.
That's
That's it.
Is that the one?
I believe that is right, but it shows that obviously there's certain distances that people wouldn't travel. You know what I'm saying on the Sabbath day. But obviously, like the Elder Ronnie was saying, when you read things like Matthew 12, it tells you, it's good to do good on the Sabbath day. Let's say my dad, he's I don't know, he's very ill, right? He I don't know, something. He needs something. Go and get your dad.
You might just need company.
Right. Well, it might need company. You might need, I
I was
don't know.
faced with that night. I had to speak about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
My mum was in hospital and she needed me.
Yeah,
So urgently. And I said to Peter, can I catch taxi right now?
Brother, catch the taxi,
I
fam.
said, yeah.
Their mum just, nah, fam, catch the taxi, bro.
Mom's Sabbath,
Yeah, no, it's a Sabbath.
But you don't hear about them things, but then when you're put in that dilemma,
Yeah, I know.
you feel
That's where grace is
Right.
uncontrollable. You have to do something. You have to honor your mother and father. Innit? So you have to help, man. You can't be like, yo,
Yeah. And I can't, she got to deal with
he's
it.
got to deal with it. He's got to do it.
Madness.
Right.
It's madness.
Put it in the Bible, I know your mother.
See,
You know,
There's no long.
Khan, you got that precept
Yeah,
in Ezra.
come.
Well, like 2 more now.
We're going
The works in it as well.
to.
Go on.
I got one as well.
Go.
This is Ezra
1 and 1.
1 and verse 1.
Right, because really on the new moons you don't work in it as well. Right, exactly. On the new moons, even on new moons, right, you wouldn't work, right? But this was on the building of the temple, right? In Ezra 1 and 1, right, where they were told by King Cyrus to build up the temple. That's not off, because even the priests, they would it says that they profane the Sabbath and are blameless, because that was what the works of the temple, tabernacle, right? So in Ezra 1:1 it tells you that they were going to rebuild the temple after coming out of captivity, right? But a precept to get, let's go to Matthew 22 and 21. I'll just end on that one, right? Showing you that there's a difference between that servile work, right, things of the world, and the things of the ministry,
22, 21,
yeah, can't.
Matthew 22, verse 21. They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's.
Right, so showing you the things that are of the Most High are like the priests, with the shewbread, right? That's on the Sabbath. Every Sabbath they'd be cooking, right? They're doing the sacrifice on the Sabbath, but that's not, for example, me just regular. I can sizzle up some whatever. I'm breaking the Shabbat. I'm not a priest to be doing that. Just what I'm saying. So there's things that are of, Caesar. Like, let's say they trying to pay your bill, right? You should have paid it before, innit? Really and truly, But let's say if it's a direct debit, you change the date, right? That's it. I guess I have Matthew 12. Nah, brother, you really should have paid it before, right? And if it's due Saturday, wait till sundown, So there's things that are for Caesar, like the world and whatnot, and there's things that are of the Most High.
That's it.
I think you got one.
Yeah, just quickly.
See that?
This is Jeremiah 17 and verse 21. Says, thus saith the Lord, take heed to yourselves and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, neither do ye any work, but hallow ye the Sabbath day as I commanded your fathers.
Go on.
Yeah, so basically, like that what you were saying about like carrying things for like the burden that we carried, like coming here is like building the temple.
Same.
So we can't really call that like work. It is for the Lord.
And there's with some feast days it will say you can do the things that are for that feast day. Like it'd be like save everything but for So just to emphasize on that, but can't. We'll praise to the Most High. Close up.
Come on, man. That's it. Man.
Can't praise to the Most High, man.
That's it.
All right, can't.
Happy Feast of Tabernacles, man.
Can't.
First day, innit? Yeah. All praises, man.
See that?
Look forward to it, man.
See that?
So far.
See that?
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, but in my face.
You didn't? No, man,
Oh, they gave the lesson. You have the short one.
that's true. You meant to blow the horn.
Yeah, no,
You meant to. You have to blow them.
Oh, you got a horn?
yeah, I have in my tent. Yeah,
Come on.
Oh, don't worry.
Praise to the Most High, man.
When you get to your tent, blow the horn, yeah? Alright, yeah? You got until, what time is it now?
You missed that.
The
Fight time, innit?
No, quite yet. Hey, look, did the cow do it for us?
Just do like a 1-2, isn't it? Like a 1-2. But obviously there is noise pollution, so there's noise pollution, so we're not sure to make much noise after 10:30, 11:30.
Yeah.
11 right now.
The good thing is though, like there's not really much. They're quite down there with the other people, innit? So pollution is probably like to other users. Them lot, they're gone still. All the people that work there, they're gone still.
Can't. Alright, man.
Well, that's it, man.
Can't. Praise to the Most High.
Probably that, man.
Shalom to everyone. Shalom to everyone. All praises.
Alright, and so we're just chilling. It's 3 o'clock.